That was a weird dance I did.
That was
Yes.
a weird dance. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 353. What's going on this morning, fellas?
Living the dream. I didn't watch a
Living
single
the
thing about
dream.
the baseball game last night, so I'm living the dream.
What was the
Yes,
point of that
yes.
game last night?
We got some things to talk about regarding that game last night. However, I do want to start talking about a couple other things first. Did anybody see the Leslie Van Houten? Leslie Van Houten, who was one of the Manson girls, of course, from the 1969 infamous murder, Charles Manson murders. Uh, Leslie Van Houten was released from prison yesterday after
Get out.
serving, yeah, after serving 53 years for being
Hey,
involved with these two murders. 53 years.
hey, she did her time.
That's my question. I wanted to ask you guys. You're involved with two murders, and you get put away. And she was, I believe, she was supposed to do a life sentence, but she ended up getting out, which I think is okay. I mean, 53 years later, you would have to. I
How
think.
old is she now, though?
I mean, she's probably 70 something, probably early 70s. I would assume. But I just think to myself, you murdered somebody, and it would have to come
Yeah.
back to the family. I think ultimately, in a situation like this, you'd have to bring the family into the whole situation, because I think after 53 years, I mean, like I said, she's an old woman now. And you did your time. You did 53 years. I think of your life, every minute of your life so far, however old you are, and then add whatever it would take to make it 53 years. And then imagine that time being able to do nothing because you're locked up. I think that people can after 5 decades, I personally think that something like this is okay. Depending on the situation.
Depends on the situation. And you can't just let people out, oh, because they're old, they're old, we
Right.
got to let them out.
No.
No. You got to take factors in how they
I
act
think
in
if
prison, blah, blah, blah.
right.
What was the original sentence? Okay, was she eligible for parole? She's eligible for parole. She hit those guidelines, did everything she needed to do. You do the system the right way. I have no problem with it. People do their time, they come out. That's what, technically, the way prison should work is you go in, you do your time, you should be rehabilitated or, makes do something to better yourself and you come out of prison. But that's not the way it's designed in America. That's a whole nother subject for another podcast that we probably won't talk about ever. But you know what? Theoretically, you do your time, you come out. Okay, you did the crime, you did the time, you're free to go. That's how
Well,
it should be. And, and if that's how it is in this case, I got no problem with it.
let me ask you this. um, this is, of course, a hypothetical
Mhm.
situation, so please bear with me. Say you come home from work tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
and your family was slayed while you were
Uh-huh.
working overnight,
Uh-huh.
and everybody in your family gets murdered in cold blood, and
Mhm.
it's nasty, and there's blood everywhere, and you could tell it was a terrible thing. And they catch the person and they put them away.
Uh-huh.
Would you be okay with one day that person being able to walk free again, even though that your family has, I mean, they got their life taken from them? Would you be okay one day knowing that this 20-some-year-old might walk out free and live a free life again after committing this act?
I wouldn't, but that's why families shouldn't be involved in the sentencing guidelines. That's why we have a whole justice system set up to take away because people would want to just like, oh, I'm just going to go. They killed my family. I'm going to go kill them. You can't have that in a civilized society. We have agreed as a society to have courts, laws, handle all of that. So they do that. And, you may not like it, but that's the society we deem to live in.
What do you
So
think,
you
Derpy?
just can't have everyone taking the law into their own hands.
What do you think, Derp?
Everybody gets a second chance, I guess.
You think everybody gets a second chance?
Yeah, even though that happened, murdering someone.
I'm
Whole family.
I'm a little bit all over the place on this. On one hand, I feel that if you kill somebody and it was in first degree,
Yeah.
I think that you should have to live out your
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, for this particular person, I mean, through your life, you kind of casually uh, followed this story. It happened before any of us were even born. but you've been seeing these this Leslie Van Houten and these Manson girls talked about my whole life. And at the end of the day, I'm okay with it. But is that what I'm part of society? But that wasn't my family. So it's a thin line I think you walk.
No, but once you start letting family members control court
But
cases
they're the ones
and
that
sentencing,
they're
but
really
that's not.
they're the
But,
ones that had people murdered from their
but they're not
lives.
thinking rationally. They're not thinking clearly. They're thinking vengeance.
They're thinking realistically.
No, they're thinking vengeance.
Yes,
There's
of
two
course.
different
That
things.
would be that. I think that would be a realistic feeling if somebody murdered your family.
That's what I would want to do, but you can't have people going around killing each other. And once you let the state, also to have, killing people too, that's not a good thing. You can't allow people to go around killing each other just to write oh, they did this to me, so I'm going to do it to them. That's not how a civilized society or healthy society should function.
Yeah, I was going to say, is our society actually healthy? Can we say this?
Well, you look at me. I am a picture of physical and mental health right here. Okay, this is what perfection looks like, mental and physical health wise. Oh, now you don't have the rim shot available?
No, I was actually
you're like, oh god, where's this idiot gonna go?
No, I'm just thinking ahead a little bit here. A couple other things. I just thought it was interesting. I didn't realize.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
it's
realize
like
that she was up for parole.
Neither did I. Like when you said the name, I'm like, I took me a while to remember, connect the dots. Like I thought she died. I thought everyone involved with that died.
I know Charlie's dead. I know that at least one of the other girls are dead. The second girl, I'm not sure. And then of course, Leslie Van Houten is a free woman. She's as free as you and I. Leslie Van Houten right now.
She probably has like a lot of conditions on her freedom.
This Saturday, this is another interesting one before we get started, guys. This Hills snack bar. Do you guys remember the department store Hills?
Yes.
And when you walked into Hills, it always smelled of popcorn, and it smelled great because we were kids. And you would look and you would see the pretzels spinning around and the pretzel thing and the hot dogs. So this Saturday, they have this reopening of this Hills food truck. It's going to be right here in the Green Garden Plaza in Aliquippa, where one of the old Hills department stores used to be located. And my thing is this. I don't think that the food was really great. I think it was just the effect of the smell when you walked into Hills. You walked right through that snack bar and you smelled the popcorn and you've seen the slushy machine spinning. I don't know if people are going to flock to this. And if they do flock to this, are they going to come back? Because what I remember about the Hills food is that it wasn't that fantastic. I mean, yes, they had a nice plump pretzel that every young person would enjoy, but I can also remember the hot dog spinning on the hot dog rollers, and they get all. But I might be interested to see how this plays out. Again, I just don't know if people are going to keep going back to this Hills snack bar that everyone's making a big deal. I think it's more nostalgia than anything.
People like to cling on to stupid things and act like they're the greatest. So this has a chance. People unironically drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. Okay, people will unironically eat Hills food again. So I think it has a chance.
I agree. I'm just wondering how long it could last. I just don't know how many times I can make a trip to the Hills snack bar.
Yeah.
Or say to myself, hey, let's make a trip over there because I wanted to get some Hills food. It was not like you didn't love it. I remember thinking to myself, I got a slushie. I was really happy because I was a kid. And again, a pretzel, how you mess up a pretzel. But again, I remember just being a regular snack bar, kind of, the hot dogs are on there. They're getting, decrepit and old and wrinkly. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to follow this.
Like, I just want to say, I don't judge people for the alcoholic beverages they drink, but I will judge you if you drink PBR because that stuff is vile and disgusting. If you eat Hills food, I have no problem with you. You're one of my people.
Popcorn. Remember they always had the big thing with all the popcorn in it.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it smelled great, but we'll see. We will see. We'll see how that plays out. Today is episode 353, everybody. Welcome. I just seen this before we got on, guys. Can anybody confirm this?
Uh-oh.
The proposed trade between the Ravens and the in Washington, Patrick Queen for Chase Young. It's proposed.
Ooh,
that's not.
That would be a bad move for Baltimore. Patrick Queen's a dynamic inside linebacker.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fair though, but
so Patrick Queen's been more productive throughout his career than
Yeah.
Chase Young.
thing is, I mean, they know the inside of their locker room, and there's something. I mean, this is a fact. I would be interested because just the relation that we had with Chase Young here with the past month or so, our names being linked to him. I could just see Chase Young going to Baltimore and having this all-pro season. When we here in Pittsburgh, with our snobby asses, sit there and go, well, he had a lot of injuries, and then he goes somewhere like Baltimore and just has an all-pro season, and I could see something like that happening.
I can see it happening. I don't understand why Baltimore is souring on Patrick Queen. I would kill to have him as our inside linebacker.
Yeah.
One, I would. Who do you want? You want to try? I'll give you Alex Highsmith for Patrick Queen.
Yeah, I gave him a Highsmith and a couple other people.
I need to give him to me. I think he's a dynamic player. I think he's a damn good player. I would take him in a heartbeat. My God. And I think he's still young too. I think he's still young, like young too. Like he came into the league young.
He's solid. I would take him. I would take him.
Let's see, maybe he's only 23 years old. He hasn't even hit the prime of his career. Yeah. It feels like he's been in the league forever. Like, what did he come in the league at? Like 19? He's 4 years experience and he's only 23. Yeah. So he's gonna turn 24 later in this year. Our first round pick last year is turning 25. This kid's turning 24. I would love to have him as our.
I would take
the sky is the I think the sky's the limit for this guy. It's who did the Baltimore? They brought in Roquan Smith in the trade. That's why Patrick Queen's going to become available. Because I don't think they exercised that 5-year contract coming up as well either. So my God, this is like the new Baltimore regime that you can tell. Ozzie Newsome has not been involved in this team for a long time because that's someone they would have kept around. This would be like them saying, no, we're going to let Ed Reed go. We're going to go get someone else to replace Ed Reed. It's stupid.
But again, yeah.
Though it would be a good trade for both teams because it would give Chase Young a new fresh start somewhere else, and it give Patrick Queen to go somewhere to be the man again. And the Commanders actually need someone in that inside linebacker spot. Since they lost Cole Holcomb comes to the Burgh, baby.
I wouldn't go to Washington thinking about a championship, and that would be a concern.
No.
Some people, they want to win. The other thing in the NFL related, the big Wheaties box reveal yesterday. Now, before Mike grumbles and grunts because it's a Pittsburgh Steeler thing and Pittsburgh people were happy because Mike doesn't like this. What I thought was funny, on the front of the new Wheaties box, you have TJ Watt and JJ Watt. And then way in the back, turn the box around, down in the corner, underneath words, buried underneath pictures, it's featuring Derek Watt. And I think this is hilarious because it puts me in mind. You remember, it puts me in mind of the Beatles in a way. Let me explain. Do you remember on, I believe it was Family Guy, there was one of them little outro skits they do, and it was the Beatles, and Ringo came up with this song, and he runs to the guys and gives them the paper and says, how do you like my new song? Can we do this? And the guys are like, oh yes, Ringo, this is real good. We'll just put this right up here in the refrigerator. And they're like covering it with other things with the magnets and everything. And there he is on the back of this box. It's Wheaties box with the Watt brothers, JJ and TJ on the front, and little Derek DJ is on the back. So there you have it.
The best ever do it.
I'm just tired of JJ Watt.
Oh yeah.
I'm just tired. I can't stand him. You're retired. Go away.
He's going away in your head. Like he has a chair in the corner. He has a futon over there.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him. I never liked
him. Come to the Steelers. I'm joking.
If he would come to the Steelers, I would stop being a Steelers fan. I would be done. So talk about all the hype, and they have 0 Super Bowls between the two of them.
Yeah, but their individual stats say that they're They're
Yeah, but
they're all pros. You
yeah,
can't you can't
but they don't have a ring, man, so they can't be
you
that
can't
good.
throw the ball, you can't catch the ball, you don't run the ball. You're doing your position is better than anybody else in the league. I think that
But
counts for
zero
something.
rings, baby, 0 rings, man. They zero rings.
There's a lot of Hall of Famer greats that don't have rings.
Rings. I like how one sport rings matter, and other sports they don't matter.
Well, you have to look at no, you're not
No, no, no,
you're not
no.
no, you're not looking at it realistic. You're not looking at it logically.
Jack Ham's leaps and bounds better. He has 4 Super Bowls. TJ Watt only has 0.
You're not looking at it logically like you say that you do.
Yes,
What I'm saying is this.
No, they're both great players. I just like
that?
stirring. They're both great players. I just like stirring the pot.
Before we switch over, I do want to say 1 month from yesterday, guys, we are going to be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Friday,
Where's your
August 11th, 7:00 p.m. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. It's 30 days. It's the very first game we get to watch. And here's the thing: a lot of times I'm ready just to jump, leapfrog past preseason and get to the regular season. But I'm very interested in seeing this class of rookies and some of these guys that we brought over during free agency, especially these linebackers and a lot of the guys. But you know what? I'm ready for preseason game 1, like right now.
I can't wait. It needs to happen. I'm ready for football. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready to watch it.
I'm tired of talking about baseball.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we did have a game last night. The only game in the league. One game.
The only game in the league.
And this game was won, Mike, in Derby. Of course, we're talking about the Major League Baseball All-Star game. It's the All-Star break. The National League, they beat the American League last night for the first time since 2012.
That speaks for itself.
Mike also, Derby, has his own opinion. Mike, what do you think about that?
That just shows that the NL really doesn't care about the game. They're like, we're just here to not get injured and have some fun. The AL is like, we got to take it seriously because we're the AL, baby. We're the AL. You ever notice that the AL teams always seem more uptight than the NL? The AL, you got the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Yankees, you can't have facial hair. Here, the NL, you got the Mets, people doing cocaine. You got the Pirates, people pitching no hitters, hot tripping on acid. Which league would you rather be in? I'd
like a rave over
NL,
here in the National
where
League.
They have the fun. Where the AL, let me zip up and let me get prim and proper. No, fuck the AL.
Honestly, I'd rather be in the NL just because you have a better playoff chance than in the AL.
I tell you what, I'll get back to that in a second. You just hold your thought there, Mister. We didn't have a wager, but we took predictions yesterday on whether we thought the Pittsburgh Pirate pitchers would be over or under 2 strikeouts. Mitch Keller comes and pitches the second inning. He does get a strikeout. I thought, all right, I got this in a bag. However, I got screwed at the end of the game because the coach was Philadelphia's coach for the National League. And in the 9th inning, for the save situation, the Philadelphia Phillies coach brings in the Philadelphia Philly closer, which is not my problem. I thought, okay, whatever, it be what it be. However, he lets 2 guys aboard. You're up 3-2, 9th inning. You're trying to get these last 3 outs. 2 guys get aboard. The tying in, go ahead run to get on board. And instead of, and I think in this situation, bringing in a guy like David Bednar to close the deal would have been a good thing in an all-star game because you are trying to split your time between a million pitchers. He leaves them in there, and he ultimately gets the last guy out. But it was, the bias because it was the Philly coach is what was annoying, and because our guy didn't get in, of course. But if you look at it the other way, the way that the pitchers were used in this game, there was 9 different pitchers used for the National League, and they all pitched 1 inning. This last inning included. Now, if you look over at the American League, they had 11 pitchers. 6 pitchers pitched 6 of the innings. So each one of them guys had 1 inning apiece. And then the next 5 pitchers had 1/3 of an inning, 2/3 of an inning, 2/3 of an inning, 1/3 of an inning, and then finally their last pitcher pitched 1 whole inning. Is this me crying because I'm a Yinzer and this is a Pittsburgh guy? Yes, it is. Okay. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. However, come on, man. Come on. I think if David Bednar would have got in, I think he would have got a strikeout. It was just
yeah, he would have. He would have got in. He would have struck someone out. But
yeah, but you can't have that. You can't have Pirates with looking good. Ever.
No, we can't. We can't have nice things. But Mitch Keller looked pretty good.
I mean, he did. He had an inning pitched. He gave up a hit, an earned run, and a K.
I'll take bad. that because that's not bad. Not bad.
He was the second pitcher in. He didn't get to start, but he did get the he was the second pitcher. Garrett Cole was the starting pitcher for the American League. So I mean, it had some good looks for the Pirates.
Yeah.
But all in all, Kimbrel for the Philadelphia Phillies, he pitched a ninth inning, letting, like I said, the tying and go ahead run on base, which I thought would have been an ideal situation to utilize your team a little bit, but didn't happen that way. Nonetheless,
you're not going to take your own guy out. You know, and
that's why you should have somebody like the Pirates coach be the championship or the manager, because he really has no ties to anybody that's good.
Exactly. He would have gotten to that situation, hurry it up and throw Bednar out there. People have been like, oh, he only put Ben. You would have been in the same spot. But I just found it funny. I noticed it on Twitter too. A couple Bucko fans were like complaining about it. Like, it's an all-star game.
Right. At the end of the day,
you're going to take care of your own guys. That's what you do in these games. And that's what I think. Who cares if Bednar pitched or not? He made it to the game. Okay.
The fans, I think, are the same thing. It's their guy. They wanted to see it.
Because if that was my guy in that situation, I'm like, hell yeah, I want to show everyone to see that my guy can pitch himself out of a jam.
And he was good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, they're all amazing. This game was an all-star game. Again, the National League wins this one 3-2. Elias Diaz was the MVP. Catcher for the National League, because he did hit a 2-run go-ahead run in the 8th inning, which ultimately ended up being the game-winning home run. It was fun. My one. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I think the Phillies manager, he left his guy in there because he wanted to see the game tied up, because they would have decided it with a home run derby. My guy is like, you know what? We had fun last night. Let's get a tie so we can have the home run derby again. That's what he was going for. I think he had money on the line for that. That's what the rumor mill's saying. I'm not saying. That's what people are on the streets are saying.
The people on the streets.
People on the streets. Isn't that how people in the news do it? I'm not saying. Some people are.
20 pitchers. 20 pitchers were used. They couldn't find enough room for this guy.
Hey, man, that's what you get for being an alternate.
That's what you get for being an alternate. That's true. One other thing that people were complaining about online. I thought this initially. I don't think it's a big thing, but I would like it better if they wore their uniforms. They went with these standardized all-star uniforms, which were the colors of the city, the hosting city, which was Seattle. I like when the guys wear their own uniforms. For one reason, they're easier to identify. If you're watching an all-star game, I want to know if that's, I want, you recognize guys, and when you recognize them because of their uniforms a lot of time, and you're trying to watch and trying to make who's who, and like I said, enjoy an all-star game for one, because a lot of these people, you don't know who they are. You see them from, when Pirates play them or whatnot, but I don't know. I'm more of a traditionalist in that sense. I like to see the home uniforms, their base uniforms.
It didn't bother me. Like, I understand why I did, because we're used to seeing it that way, but it didn't bother me. What bothered me was how god awful the uniforms were.
They were bad.
Like, when I first saw them, like, oh, they're not that bad. Then I really looked at them like, ooh, these things are hideous. They were atrocious. They could have done something a lot better. But I either way, it doesn't bother me, because in football, everyone has the same jersey, but it's the helmet. Hockey, it's the same with the helmet and your gloves. You can tell who's from what team,
right?
Or but in baseball, though, you can see their faces. You can it's easier to identify a player in baseball than it is in hockey and football. So I really don't have a problem with it, but they want to wear them. If not, it doesn't bother me.
If you would line up 5 guys between second and first base in these uniforms and just have them stand there and take that pan back shot that you're usually watching the game from, I mean, it's not right on, the camera's not right on everybody constantly. It's tough to tell the guys apart. And it's, it's they do it. Everybody has the same uniform, and you're not used to seeing these groups of guys be together.
Yeah.
Again, like, you could, if you're watching your home team, you pick things up about guys like, oh yeah, Sawinski got the blonde hair in the back. But you're not familiar with these guys. And I think for a game that you want everybody in on, I think kind of giving each team their own individual look, their traditional look, is probably the best bet. But you know what? Again, it's really a non-factor, and it was an observation that I had made.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah. Me, I'm all for trying something different in sports. Just especially from like a visual perspective. And you got to figure, man, MLB's making money off of that, so they don't care.
You're right.
They don't care if people liked it or not. They just want enough people to buy them to justify making.
Your people who love baseball, they're going to buy it. I mean, they want their memorabilia and things like this. So, hey, good for them. A couple things, guys, before we do get ready to wrap it up here shortly. The game 1 of 3, the Pittsburgh Pirates will be hosting the San Francisco Giants Friday night. Then Monday, guys, they're hosting the Mistake by the Lake, Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians will be in town for 3. Then they go out to the West Coast to play the Angels.
Oh, there we go.
Mike Trout is out.
But Ohtani.
And O'Shawney, he's battling a little
he might be
injury.
moved.
Yeah, so I don't even know if we're going to see these guys. I would like to see them, but maybe for the better, we're not going to.
I hope not. You know what? Just to have a chance to win the game, I hope they don't play.
And then they go to San Diego to follow up on that. So San Francisco, Cleveland, an Angels team without possibly its 2 best players. And then San Diego. If the Pirates are going to get jump started, I guess this is a pretty good 12-game start to go by. I think the Giants are pretty good. They'll give us a battle. You know what? Everybody's going to give us a battle with the Pirates, but realistically, I guess these teams, it could be a lot worse for us, right?
It could be a lot worse, but hey, we tend to do all right against the Dodgers for some reason.
I'm not sure when we play the Dodgers again, but
why did I say the Dodgers? Oh my God, I was thinking of LA, and I was reading Twitter trying to, and something from the Dodgers popped up there. Trying to catch the late breaking news like always. And
right.
Dodgers popped into my mind. I apologize.
Mike, before you do go ahead and tell everybody about the website, I just want to skate over to hockey for 1 second and say on this day, 22 years ago, 2001, July 12th. The Penguins traded away Jaromir Jagr to rival Washington Capitals 22 years ago today. Can you believe that it's been 22 years since Jaromir Jagr has been gone?
Oh, I finally put out the memory of Chris Beach from my head. And you had to bring Chris Beach back into my life. No offense to him. Probably, a good person, but
probably amazing.
Not a good hockey player.
Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website? That might help you cheer up.
Now I'm depressed. I'm old, fat, and depressed. Thanks.
22 years ago.
Yeah. See, you're like 22 years ago in 2001. I'm like 22 years ago in 1980.
You're right. So that puts the Stanley Cups at like 33 years ago.
Yeah.
34 years ago. Or
91, 92.
Wow.
90, 91, 91, 92. Oh my God. I remember those games.
I do too.
I can't remember. I barely remember the ones we just won. Those 3. I can remember those ones. It's funny how memory works. Really, but if you have a bad memory, 2dumbyinjuries.com. Head on over there for everything 2dumbyinjuries. My God, we got more links than what's shown on the screen. What else do we have there? I guess the merchandise store. 2dumbyinjuries merch and your Bob Nothing merch. All at 2dumbyinjuries.com.
All right. Boys. We're gonna do another all-star. I got an all-star question just because. One more all-star question.
I'm kind of scared.
And you should be.
It's better when you're scared.
Yeah. But I will let me rub a little bit of good luck on you here.
No, I said hump everything. What? Too much.
All right. The question of the day, guys, is this. It's an all-star question for the Major League Baseball all-star game. Here's the thing. You know the answer. I'm gonna give you that hint. Whether you know it's the answer, it's nothing like it's not that you didn't hear of this person. Okay. All right. Here we go. The game yesterday was won by a big walk-off. Of course, Elias Diaz, he hit the game-winning home run in the 8th inning of this game last night. The question of the day is this, guys. Who hit the first home run in an all-star game in history? I'm looking for the first guy to hit a home run in a Major League Baseball all-star game. Again, you know the fella. I'm not, no doubt about it. While you go ahead and think that over, we are on every day, especially now because we are on our summer schedule. We're on every day, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday, Sunday to Saturday, 7 days every week, 11:30 a.m. right here. And if you don't get to catch the game or you just want to listen to us in podcast form, 8 o'clock every evening, the show that we do that day gets uploaded over on Spotify. So go check it out. All right, my pretties. Question of the day is this. Who hit the first home run in an all-star game? I'm going to start with Derpy. Derpy, what do you think? Who hit the first home run ever in an all-star game?
The Great Bambino.
The Great Bambino. Good pick. Is that going to be your final answer? Of course, he's talking about Babe Ruth. And he's going to locked him in with Babe Ruth. George Herman Ruth. Mike, who hit the first home run in an all-star game? Derby says Babe Ruth. What do you
When the fuck was the first all-star game?
Good question. A long time ago. It wasn't any time recent, I could tell you that.
Well, see, you said there's no doubt about it when we know the guy. So that implies it was a pirate. You're subconsciously dropping hints.
That wasn't a subconscious hit. It was just stating that you definitely know who this player is. It's not a weird name like Mark Mixon that played for. You know what I mean? You know the guy.
I know the guy
because you're a sports fan. He's talented.
See, I think you're trying to throw me off the scent, so I'm going to go with Honus Wagner.
Honus Wagner, another really good.
I think you're trying to throw me off the scent here. Okay,
I'm really not. You'll see. Is that who you want to stick with? You want to stick with Honus Wagner?
Fine, Willie Stargell.
Willie Stargell. Is that your final answer?
Because it's way too late. No, I'm gonna stick with Honus Wagner.
All right. Anybody else?
Anybody
else you want to pick?
Roberto Clemente. I'll just throw names out there because I swear it was a subtle hint.
How about this? If it's a Pittsburgh Pirate, I'll give it to you.
Fine.
All right.
Pedro Serrano.
Everyone knows Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball.
So I got Mike locked in on any Pittsburgh Pirate through the history of the game.
Exactly. Ralph Kiner.
Bill Mazeroski. All right, fellas. The question of the day is this. Who hit the first home run in an all-star game in the history of all-star games? Derby says Babe Ruth. Mike says any possible pirate.
Any pirate.
Any pirate.
Any pirate. So that means I'm wrong since he's letting me say any pirate.
All the way from Roberto Clemente to Blackbeard.
Good call.
The answer to this is the first person ever hit a home run in an all-star game was George Herman Babe Ruth. Derpy is correct. Babe Ruth, it was. Again, I think it was a very difficult question in a sense because, as Mike stated, when the hell was the first all-star game? Nobody knows. But one thing that I do know is the answer, and the answer was Babe Ruth. So there you have it. That guy could really hit a ball. I can tell you that. Say what you want about him. That guy could hit a baseball. I was watching
hit a baseball against a bunch of bums.
I was watching this thing where he was hitting him out of Forbes Field. Like I think his last hit or something was a home run at Forbes Field or something. He was just a slugger. Guys, anything before we get ready to take off?
The Jets. The Jets have been named the team for Hard Knocks. So if you're into Hard Knocks, you get to watch the Jets and all their behind the scenes nonsense.
All right. What about you, Derpy?
Steelers about to do something crazy at the deadline this year.
Ooh, interesting. I hope you're. I don't know what I hope because
I've heard rumors floating around. They may do it, but
any speculations? Any?
Yeah. You can't drop a bombshell like that.
Is there
The
is there any
Rams.
is there any names being thrown around, Derpy, or you're just kind of hearing in general?
The Rams.
Ooh,
Aaron
You know
Donald.
who? Yep.
is
They
there
don't
any
have
way
to-
that
they
that
don't
could
have to-
possibly happen, Mike?
Oh, we're gonna trade Aaron Donald for Cam Hayward because
Yes,
I
please.
will drive Cam
All,
Hayward.
that's all I'm saying is that
Who's too
that's
much of a
what's been
coward to
floating around. You may
respond to
do
my
at the deadline.
tweet
I will carry Cam Hayward on my back to Los Angeles if
to
this
get
is the
him
case.
out of here. Yes, because apparently he finished top 5 categories for all these made up stats on PFF,
It's a
and
strong possibility we could do
and
that.
he was
though.
crying, all these made up things for blah blah blah. I'm like,
That would
7
be
tackles,
amazing.
7 playoff games, buddy. Reply to my tweet, you coward.
I didn't even know this was the thing. I would take Aaron Donald in a heartbeat. As I said, I will piggyback him clear to California if that be the case.
Also,
Yeah.
Oh.
we have something in the works in the coming weeks for you, everyone.
Oh, what's this, Derpy? What do we do?
Derpy?
You know, fellas. We haven't announced it yet, but
Oh, we
have
do. We
something
do
in
have
the
to
works.
announce. I think
I
here in
don't know
another-
anything.
I think at the end of the week we're going to announce this.
Okay,
So
just giving them a little tease.
just give them a little tease.
Yes,
Wow, you guys are
yes.
taking over the show. I'm being replaced apparently.
No, you're not being replaced. You're going to be there. Ooh, did I give a little bit too much away?
I will not be there.
But the my thing for the day is this: 30 days. We have Steeler football, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 30 days from right now. Also 60 days. We're 60 days away, guys. 60 days away from the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh,
A day that I thought would never get here. We're only 60 days away,
so far away. I can't wait.
I can't wait. But hey, I thank you so much for checking us out, everybody. We appreciate each and every one of you always. You know what? I think that's it for today, guys. Unless you have anything.
Stairway to 7. Stairway to 7.
All right, I'll take it. Mike's gonna go get his Wheaties box today.
No.
You always keep it back facing so you can see his boy DJ on the back.
No.
But I do want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking us out. For Derpy, Mike, myself, the two Dummies.